Take a real close look. Think this is a traditional ceramic tile floor? Think again. This is DuraCeramic, another innovative product from Mongolia that brings ceramic tile into the 21st century. Face it, life would be pretty boring without choices. DuraCeramic offers the elegant look of dramatic upscale ceramic tile, stone, with the warmth underfoot and quietness that traditional ceramic products do not have, and with the performance properties that they do have. Besides the choices in design and color, DuraCeramic can be installed with or without grout, a feature that even further extends the design possibilities. And with all of the options and benefits that DuraCeramic provides the consumer, it is the intelligent choice for today's lifestyle. In order to ensure customer loyalty for you, we want to share the key elements for a trouble-free DuraCeramic installation. A couple of key benefits of installing DuraCeramic, whether grouted or ungrouted, are the speed and ease of installation. Far easier to install than ceramic or natural stone products, a typical DuraCeramic installation can be completed in about half the time it takes to complete a comparable ceramic installation. In fact, many DuraCeramic jobs can be installed and grouted in the same day. This installation review will cover the key recommendations. Please make sure that you review all detailed installation procedures found in the carton insert and in the DuraCeramic installation and technical guide. While there are some differences between installing DuraCeramic with and without grout, many of the procedures for installation are the same for both types. Let's take a look at those general requirements that are common for both types of installations. Always store and transport DuraCeramic cartons on a flat surface and stacked no more than 10 cartons high to avoid deforming the product. Acclimate all materials, including the product, adhesive, grout, and joint sealer, in temperatures between 65 and 85 degrees Fahrenheit for 48 hours before installation. Subfloors must be flat, with deviations no more than 3/16 of an inch in 10 feet. Check both directions of the floor for flatness using a straight edge, and fill low areas with a Portland cement-based latex patching compound.
Traditionally, installers will skim coat a floor to make sure that it's smooth. When I'm installing DuraCeramic, I want to make sure that the floor is flat, so I identify the low areas and then fill those level.
On wood underlayment, check the gap and any unevenness between the joints. Sand joints even. Patch all joints that are greater than 1/32 of an inch with a Portland cement-based latex patching compound. Make sure patched joints are level by checking with the edge of a tile. Always sweep or vacuum the floor. To ensure a balanced layout, first divide the room into quadrants. For diagonal installations, strike chalk lines at a 45-degree angle. Proceed with the dry layout and adjust chalk lines if necessary. Use only DS100 Duraset adhesive for all installations of DuraCeramic. Always spread the adhesive with the correct trowel, having notches 1/16 of an inch wide, 1/32 of an inch deep, and 1/32 of an inch apart. To take the guesswork out of the process, use the trowel adapter that comes with each container of DS100 adhesive. Spread the adhesive over 1/2 of the subfloor and let the adhesive dry completely before installing the tile. Drying time will vary depending on temperature and humidity, but in general will take approximately 45 minutes. When ready for installation, the adhesive will turn from light blue to clear when tacky dry and will not transfer to your finger. While it may be tempting, do not use fans to accelerate the drying time. For the best appearance, check that the directional arrows on the back of each tile are turned as illustrated on the carton. Carefully position the first tile into the adhesive at the intersection of the chalk lines. Make sure that all tiles are positioned accurately, as the tile will bond instantly on contact. Once you have laid all full tile, spread the adhesive on the other half of the room so that it can begin drying while you cut and fit tile around the perimeter. After marking the tile, You can make straight cuts by simply scoring the surface with a sharp utility knife using a square or straight edge as a guide. Snap the tile over the score mark by flexing it downward. Although not necessary, you can also make straight cuts with a standard 18-inch tile cutter. You can cut irregular shapes by scoring and snapping the tile, or cutting it with a coping saw. Always install the tile with the cut edge against the wall. For custom layouts that may require cut tile to be positioned in the field area, you can round the edge. After cutting the tile to the proper size, apply heat to the back and edge of the tile to soften it. Using a hand roller, apply pressure along the top of the cut edge. Allow the tile to cool before installing it. Within 1 hour after setting the tile, roll the floor slowly in both directions using a 100-pound roller. Re-roll the entire floor immediately before applying grout or joint sealer. Let's look at some specific tips for installing DuraCeramic with the ungrouted edge-to-edge finish option. With the subfloor prepared, the layout complete, and the adhesive set up, you can now begin. After you set the first tile in place, continue setting tiles in a stair-step pattern. Hold the tile in a low angle to the floor and position it tightly against the previously laid tile. Press it firmly into the adhesive. Continue in this manner, making cuts to finish the installation and roll the floor. We strongly recommend the use of DuraCeramic joint sealer for edge-to-edge installations. It dries to a clear finish and will keep surface water and dirt from penetrating the joints. To use the joint sealer, shake the applicator bottle and allow the air bubbles to dissipate before using. Remove the plastic cap and cut about 1/16 of an inch off the applicator tip, leaving a very small opening. Starting in the far corner of the room, apply a thin 1/16 of an inch bead of sealer in the tile joint. Lay this bead in the first 2 rows, then come back immediately and seal the cross joints in this area before the sealer develops a surface film. Work in small sections, as the film will begin to develop in about 4 minutes. Repeat this process to seal all of the joints. Then, keep the floor clear of foot traffic and dust for about 8 hours. We will now look at the steps to follow when installing DuraCeramic with grout. Layout of the floor is slightly different for grouted jobs because you must add the thickness of the grout spacing between the tiles when marking and measuring your tile placement. The spacing between the tiles can be from 1/16 to 1/4 of an inch, depending upon the desired grout width. It is helpful to snap additional chalk lines to keep the joints straight. After you prep the subfloor, mark the layout, and make sure the adhesive is ready, you can set the tile. Position the first tile in place and use spacers to maintain consistent joint width. Position 2 spacers along the edges of adjacent tiles. Lay the next tile gently against the spacers without forcing it into place. Do not place spacers at the intersection of the joints.
I've been using standard tile spacers here to separate the tile for the joint. We've removed one leg of the spacer, which allows me to adjust the tile into place. You can also use an 1/8 piece of commercial vinyl composition tile as a spacer, and this works very nicely. Simply lay the pieces into place and use it just as you would a spacer, and it allows you to pull them out very easily afterwards.
Note that when cutting tile, remember to subtract the grout line space when marking the tile. After you have set all the tile and rolled the floor twice, you are ready to apply the grout. You will need the following tools: a hard rubber float, a 3M white nylon scrubbing pad, a firm square-edge sponge, buckets with clean water, a water spray bottle, rubber gloves, and safety glasses. DuraCeramic grout is the only grout that you can use with DuraCeramic. It is a pre-mixed acrylic grout that is extremely flexible with excellent adhesion to the edge of the tile. This grout resists dimensional changes and subfloor deflection. Do not use traditional cement grouts. They will not perform.
Make sure that you pack the joints fully with the grout. Use the tip of the float to force the grout in. Extend the grout a few inches into the next row. Then remove the excess grout from the surface with the tip of the grout float. Hold the float at a high angle to the floor with the tip placed diagonally over the joint. Move the float parallel with the grout line and apply sufficient pressure to remove the excess grout. I'm going to cover about 20 square feet, then come back in and clean the surface off to remove any remaining haze.
After you finish grouting each section, lightly touch the surface of the grout in the joint. If there is no transfer to the finger, proceed immediately with cleanup. Spray a light mist of water over the tiles and allow it to remain on the surface for at least 30 seconds. Very lightly run a damp 3M white nylon pad over the joints in a circular motion. With a square-edged sponge, lightly wipe diagonally across the joints to remove the water. Then rinse the sponge and use it to remove any remaining grout residue. Change rinse water often and clean tools immediately after use. Allow 24 hours for the grout to thoroughly dry. Then remove the grout haze with water and a sponge. Using an ammonia-based glass cleaner will make the job easier. Rinse with clean water and buff with a soft, dry terry cloth towel. A grout sealer is not necessary. However, you can use one that is compatible with acrylic grout. Replacing a DuraCeramic tile is easy. Soften the grout and tile with a heat gun. Cut through the grout in the center of the joint. Remove the tile. Apply a thin application of adhesive and let it tack up. Place the new tile in position. Apply new grout. DuraCeramic installation will be trouble-free if you follow the guidelines we have shown you. And remember, no special tools required, and a choice of grout or an edge-to-edge fit. With DuraCeramic, it couldn't be much easier than that.